So we're about only a week away from Star Wars: The Last Jedi coming out in theaters. I'm pretty excited about it, but I'm also have a lot of concerns and worries about it going in. Now, um, I don't necessarily think these things are going to ruin the movie for me if they turn out to be true, or if they turn out the way I think they might. But it definitely might take it down a peg. I thought Episode 7 was really good. I remember thinking at the time that it had everything that I thought did a good job of moving Star Wars forward, the Star Wars universe forward. And even though, um, looking back on it, it did have some things that I'm um, not completely happy about it, but those are things that still will have to be answered really in the sequel, and we'll see if it lives up to that. So, um, yeah, we'll see. And I would also like to add that I'm not a huge fan of the J.J. Abrams everything has to be a mystery, because not everything, because sometimes you want some damn answers to your mysteries. Looking at you, Lost. J.J. Abrams is really good at starting universes and setting up these puzzling mysteries. Um, so far has not been that good at finishing those things, so we'll see how that turns out with episode 9. But here's hoping for good things for episode 8. But that taking that in mind, here are some things I'm worried about. The biggest worry I have is that this movie, in the same way that episode 7 was a homage to The New Hope, is going to be too much of a repeat of episode 5, The Empire Strikes Back. Now, a lot of people were already saying this as a possibility before even the trailers came out, because of the way episode 7 was. That obviously, the next thing to do would be to do episode 8 as an Empire Strikes Back. We won't really know that until after the movie comes out, but here are some of the things that I think might turn out, that I'm worried might be a little bit too much like Empire Strikes Back. Now, first, to start off, you have the dynamic of Rey training under Luke, which is exactly the same as Luke training under Yoda. It's a little bit different because, Empire didn't start with Luke training under Yoda at the very beginning, so that'll be a slight difference. But you still have the overall idea of she's training under Luke, which means, in terms of plot structure, you have the force user in the group is separated from the rest. The two other main characters, Finn and Poe Dameron, they're going to be separate, presumably, from Rey. And the other thing, just from watching the trailers, it seems to be hinting that Rey's going to go off early to try and face the villain, which is very similar to Luke leaving early to face Vader before he's ready, which is, and then also the fact that you have you do have the possibility of a character's heritage being revealed in this movie, in much the same way you had Vader's revealed to be Anakin Skywalker. Overall, I don't want The Last Jedi to be another repeat of Empire. I want something new. I want new things to happen in the stories. I don't want it to follow the same story beats. Now, The Force Awakens wasn't just A New Hope again, but it did follow a lot of the same story beats, and it had a lot of the same elements, such as, it's not the Death Star, it's whatever it was, Star Killer Base. It's not the Resistance. I mean, it's not the Rebels. It's the Resistance, not the Empire. It's a New Order. But we want something new. Tell the story in a different way. I don't want to be able to follow the story. Like, okay, so Rey's gonna train under Luke, and then her friends are gonna run into trouble, and then Rey's gonna go and try to face the villain, and then it's gonna Luke is gonna tell her, "Don't go. You haven't completed your training yet." And then, but she's gonna go anyway, and then. Oh, she's gonna go there, and Snoke. She's probably gonna face Snoke because this is a slightly different setup, but and then Snoke is gonna reveal something about her past. And we're gonna go like, oh my god, oh goodness gracious. And then and then some, she'll get away, but she'll maybe lose a arm. They loved to chop off arms in Star Wars, or maybe some other effect on her, and the movie will end. Yeah, I hope it's not as simple as that. I hope something more complex than that happens. Other things. Okay. Okay, these next two things are going to be kind of intertwined a little bit. Well, all of these things are really intertwined together, but I want to talk about these two things together. I'm a little worried that this movie is going to have too many mysteries that they set up in The Force Awakens still around by the end. Too many things like that maybe they're going to pay off in the third film. And frankly, I want some payoff in this film. This obviously ties into my other worry that I'm really worried that Rey's the backstory to Rey, where she came from, who her parents are, is going to be really disappointing. After The Force Awakens, it was sort of the big question on everybody's mind, who is Rey's parents? And I know in certain interviews and things, they've kind of downplayed that aspect. I know, especially from reading that one interview with Daisy Ridley talking about the character, she said that it's not really the most important thing about her. And that actually makes me more worried about it, because here's the thing. From my perspective, if Rey's character, if the backstory that they hinted at a lot in the Force Awakens, they made seem really important, is just that, oh, she's just some person related to some other person we've never met, I'm really gonna be disappointed. And honestly, I think that Rey being the daughter of Luke Skywalker, to me, still makes the most sense for various reasons. But I don't expect that to happen. I expect some other thing that's going to be disappointing the first time I watch it. Now, maybe I'll go back and after watching the second time, especially after watching the third movie, I won't be as disappointed about it. But it's still going. I'm not expecting to be thrilled about it. Basically, I feel like no matter what happens, I'm going to be disappointed by what they reveal about Rey. I'm also worried that the movie is going to do away with the New Republic. So, in The Force Awakens, they only really hinted at the New Republic. They didn't really go into what it was, other than the fact that we knew that there was a republic, that the Empire was gone, and yeah, a lot of those relationships weren't fleshed out very well. It felt like the Force Awakens was scared of doing anything, making it too clear politically what was going on, because they didn't want to be like the prequels. They wanted to be, well, a lot of that seemed kind of based on like the J.J. Abrams, like, oh, I just want, mystery. Kind of irritates me anyway. But so yeah, we don't really know what was going on with the New Republic. And I remember after the movie came out, saying people kind of talking like that was it. The New Republic's gone. Now it's just the Resistance, which I think is the stupidest thing for the movie to do if it does do that. Okay, so the Starkiller base fired off some shots, and sure, yeah, maybe it destroyed some planets, but the idea that it completely destroyed the Republic is just stupid, and that there's no Republic left, and it's just Resistance fighting the New Order. If that's the case in The Last Jedi, I'm not going to be pleased with that at all. Because the thing is, it'd be like another country nuking Washington D.C. If that happened, yeah, it would it would severely cripple us. But America's not gone. Just like the New Republic's not gone just because you blow up the home planet, the main base of operations. If the rebels had blown up Coruscant, the Empire still would have existed. Even if the Emperor had been on Coruscant, the Empire would have still existed in some form. So I would actually hope, and I am still somewhat hoping for more of a all-out war scenario where the Resistance is now being fully backed by the New Republic, but we'll see what actually happens in the movie. I'm afraid that it's going to be, even if they still act like the Republic is a thing, it's still going to be like, oh, but we really want this to be a story about the Resistance because the original trilogy is anything anybody likes and we have to be just like that. Anyway, thanks for watching my video. If you have any opinions to express to me, you can do so in the comments. I'd like to hear what you think about Star Wars, The Force Awakens, and The Last Jedi. What are you looking forward to? Do you have any worries and concerns like I do? And yeah, see you around.